Good evening, everyone. This is Robert from RJL 518, welcoming you to another edition of Inside Pitch, the 1985 Pennant race. Second game of our doubleheader here for the date of October 5th, 1985. We are at Shea Stadium. The Montreal Expos take on the New York Mets. The Expos come into this game at 94 and 65. The Mets are 88 and 72. The Expos have already clinched the National League East. They are the number 2 seed in the National League postseason. The Dodgers have clinched the number 1. There will be no change. What makes this game important is that the Mets have a half-game lead on the Philadelphia Phillies, and the Phillies have to play a doubleheader against the Pirates today in 10-minute ticker. In the rest of the season, the Houston Astros can clinch second place in the National League West with a win. Or actually have already clinched second place in the National League West, but they are still trailing the Cardinals one game back for the third seed. And that third seed is a difference, because if you're the third seed, you automatically go into the division series. Seeds 4, 5, and 6 have to play the wild card, playoff, and the series. A big game tonight at Shea Stadium. However, we're going to play the National League 10-minute ticker first. We're going to find out what the Mets have to do tonight. So we will first play the 10-minute ticker, and then we will play our game between the Expos and the Mets. In the National League earlier today, the Kansas City Royals kept their hopes alive for a victory over the A's. California, however, has a 1-game lead on Kansas City. Depending on what happens tonight in the National League, we'll see what games we're going to play. It's a very good possibility I may be playing 4 games tomorrow. From the 1994 restart, I don't want to leave an important game to just 2 dice rolls. This time we'll play the games outright if we have to. I'm not worried about seeding. Seeding is important, yes, but I don't have mind the dice rolls deciding on seeding position. But when it comes to making the playoffs or not, that game should be played. G-Puck and Steeler fan join us here at Shea Stadium. We will first do the National League 10-minute ticker for October 5th to see where the Mets will stand before they play the game. We will first start with the Cincinnati Reds taking on the Dodgers. The Dodgers have already clinched number 1. Cincinnati with 86 wins. They are right now at this time the number 6 seed. Cincinnati, I don't think can do any better, but they're still chasing. So let's find out. Cincinnati, they have a 2 against the Dodgers in this game. That's a 44. That's actually pretty good. That's 3 runs for the Reds. The Dodgers have a 9. That's a 23, and that is 2 runs for the Dodgers. So the Reds do get a victory. They beat the Dodgers. That's actually the Dodgers' first loss since this sheet was made. Doesn't matter. Dodgers have already clinched home field throughout. So that is a win for the Reds. Right now, the Reds are sitting at number 6. They would have to play a wild card playoff game. Next up on the board is going to be Houston and San Diego. We're going to skip the Pirates and Phillies for last. Houston taking on the Padres. The Astros have 89 wins. This is a big game for the Astros. The Astros can tie the Cardinals for the third seed. Houston has a 20 with Nolan Ryan on the board. That's a 36. That's pretty good. That's going to be 6 runs for the Astros. The Padres have an 8. And that's 16, and that's going to be 2 runs for the Padres. The Padres are already eliminated, so the Astros get a win. The Padres take the loss, and now Houston is tied with St. Louis. Atlanta taking on the Giants. That's a meaningless ball game. Atlanta has a 10, and that is 24. They get 3 runs. San Francisco has a 14. That's 54, and they have 7 runs. So the Giants do beat the Reds. Now we have the Cubs taking on the Cardinals. If you're an Astros fan, you are rooting for St. Louis to lose this game. Cubs have a 0, however. They get a good roll, though, of 53, and that is 4 runs with Steve Trout. John Tudor on the mound for the Redbirds. He has an 11. That's a 45, and that is going to be 5 runs for the Cardinals. So they win the game 5-4 as they beat the Cubs. The Cardinals are back at 91. The Astros are back at 90. I will check real quick the board results. Philadelphia, St. Louis has 6 wins and 3 losses on the board. Houston has 4 wins and 5 wins and 4 losses on the board. Since there's not going to be another game for the Astros, the Cardinals, even if now they tie at 91 wins, which is the only thing that could happen now, the Cardinals, by virtue of a better board record, will get the 3rd seed. St. Louis just clinched the 3rd seed in the playoffs in the National League with that win. So they are number 3 no matter what happens. So which means St. Louis will be playing Montreal in their division series, where meanwhile, of course, Minnesota will be taking on Toronto in the American League Division Series in the 2nd round. As Steeler fan votes, see Bill Swift be left off the Mariners postseason roster. Still hasn't gotten over Bill Swift. So the Astros are now, so with this victory here, the Astros with 90 wins, they do clinch the number 4. So the Astros will not play in the wild card playoff. They will play in the wild card series. So the Astros are number 4. As far as the Reds, Mets, and Phillies, it is not decided yet who's number 5 or number 6. So we'll find out yet how it happens there. But the Astros have clinched the 4th seed and are now in the wild card series. They will host the 2 out of 3 against the wild card winner. Now we go to the Phillies and the Pirates. 2 games are here. Let's see what happens for the Mets tonight. Pittsburgh at Philadelphia. Pittsburgh starts off with a 10. And that is a 55. That's a good roll. And that is 6 runs for the Pirates. Phillies have a 13 with Freddie Tolliver. They get a 44, and that is 5 runs on a 13. So the Pirates beat the Phillies in the first game. And that is big for the Mets. So now we'll see what happens in the second game. Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. Pittsburgh has a 12 in that game. That's a 56. That's a great roll. That is 7 runs for the Pirates. Now the Phillies have a 13 with Childress. That's a 51, and that is 6 runs for the Phillies. They lose both games, which is what the Mets needed. They lose both games. Now, if the Mets win tonight, they are in. They clinch the last playoff spot, and they are in if the Mets win tonight. A win, and they're in. If not, I'm probably going to have to play 4 games tomorrow. A doubleheader in the morning and a doubleheader in the evening. But we'll see what happens first with the Mets and the Expos. So the Phillies lose both games to Pittsburgh. The Mets have a chance to go in tonight. Yes, it does help the Reds. It does help the Reds a little bit, but remember, they've already clinched. The Reds can't do any better than 5 or 6. If the Mets win tonight, the Reds will be the number 5. I'm sorry, the Mets will be the 5, and the Reds will have to go play the Mets in the wild card playoff game. So if the Mets win, they are in, and with 89 wins, Cincinnati can't get them. So it's all up to the Mets tonight. A win, and they're in. Let's get ready for the game. We'll see if the Mets can take advantage of it. So let's play some baseball. We are at Shea Stadium. The Montreal Expos taking on the New York Mets. Historically, the Mets got crushed in this game, 8-3. We are hoping, as a Mets fan, we hope that history has a bit of a change of heart. So a huge game today. The Shea Stadium crowd is packed up. A win, and the Mets are in. It couldn't have gone any better for the Phillies against the Pirates for the Met fans. This is the next to last day of the regular season. The final day is tomorrow of the regular season, unless I have a tiebreaker game and have to play that on Sunday. Starting pitcher for the Mets in this game was Ron Darling. 16 wins, 6 losses, 2.90 ERA. He knows what's at stake tonight. A win and they're in. But the Expos, who are still gearing up for the playoffs, let's see what they bring to the table. Left fielder Tim Raines leads off for Montreal. Top of the first, here we go. Brandon Baker here joins us here at Shea Stadium. Darling's first pitch. 4-3, strikeout chance, 8, got him, struck him out. Shea Stadium adds 2 to strikeouts and subtracts 1 from walks. Strikeout by Darling. 1 down, that will bring up second baseman Vance Law. Law batted .266 for the Expos. Tim Pepper joins us here at Shea Stadium. Darling will pitch, 2-4, walk chance, 17, and that is good. He walks Law. Darling gets a strikeout and then walks Vance Law. Runner on first. The batter will be right fielder Andre Dawson. Infield goes to halfway. Checking Strat. That's a 13, nothing happening. Darling will pitch. That's a 5-1, strikeout chance, 9, got him, struck him out. Strikeout number 2 for Darling, 2 outs. Now the infield goes back. Next up for the Expos, shortstop, Hubie Brooks, of course, ex-Met. Brooks is on there as short. Law is on at first. Nothing on the Strat. Darling will pitch. And that's a 5-4, hit by pitch. The 16 is way too high. Brooks gets to swing. 6-6, it's a ground ball right back to Darling. He'll toss it over to first to get the out. So nothing for the Expos except a walk, and we go to the bottom of the first. Starting pitcher for the Expos in this game was Floyd Youmans. 4 wins, 3 losses, 2.45 ERA. I don't know if he'll be on the 26-man roster. I know it's supposed to be a 25. I do 13 batters and 13 pitchers for each team for the playoff rosters. They will be decided by most at-bats at their positions. I will put them together. I will create lineups with the help of Baseball Reference. Kind of like the same thing I do with when I did for the one and gones. Leading off for the Mets will be center fielder Mookie Wilson, 276 average. Bottom of the first, Youmans with the pitch. That's a 2-3 against the lefty switch. That's a blank. Wilson will swing 1-3 and he grounds it to second. Out number 1. Here's second baseman Wally Backman. Backman, who hits right-handers very well, 273 average, but stinks against lefties. Youmans with the pitch, 2-2. Walk chance, that is an 8, and it's too high. Backman gets the swing, 5-3. That's a ball hit to right field. That is an 11, and against a righty, that's going to be a triple for Wally Backman. Wally Backman smacks a triple on a ball hit to right. That's a good way for the Mets to start. Nice triple for Backman. He will go to third. And here's the first baseman, Keith Hernandez, who should be in the Hall of Fame. Backman on at third. The Expos are going to play. They're going to play the infield back, take the out for the run. It's early, although the Expos really have nothing to play for. The Mets do. The Expos have already clinched number 2. They cannot do any better. Checking a strat roll, and that is a 14, nothing happening. Youmans will pitch to Hernandez. That's a 4-4, double question mark. Hernandez a lefty. That's a 1-14. It's an automatic out. It is a star 6 and a fly out to center. Now that is out number 2. Hernandez sacrifice fly rating of 4. Does he get Backman in? Yes, he does. Backman comes in to score automatically. The Mets take a 1-0 lead. As Keith Hernandez puts the Mets on the board first. Sacrifice fly. Next batter is the catcher, Gary Carter. The kid, who should be in the Hall of Fame as a Met, but they put him in as an Expo. Youmans will pitch to Carter. That's a 1-3. Strikeout chance, 12 is high. Carter gets to swing. 2-3. He flies out to left, and the inning will end there. 1 run, 1 hit, a triple, and a sacrifice fly puts the Mets on the board early. After 1-0 Metropolitans. And yes, I know I am a Mets fan. Yes, I want my team to get in there, but I will play the Expos as if this was Game 7 of the World Series. Here's Tim Wallach. He'll lead off for Montreal, third baseman. And sometimes, no matter what I do, the dice has minds of their own. As you can remember from the way the Mets lost to the Cardinals in that game I played last week. Darling will pitch. 6-5, strikeout, 14 is high. Wallach gets the swing, 2-6, base hit to center field. Leadoff single for Wallach. Wallach gets the base hit. He will go to first. Here's first baseman Andres Galarraga, a very young Andres Galarraga. Only had 75 at-bats that year in 85, but he was a late-season call-up. Wallach on at first, infield halfway. Strat says a 6, nothing happening. Darling will pitch. That's a 5-3. That's a walk chance, and he did walk him. On a 1, he walks Galarraga. So the Expos are in business. Runners at first and second, and 1, and nobody out. A 1 on a walk, and it gets him. And now the batter is center fielder Mitch Webster. Runners at first and second. Darling in a bit of a jam. Infield still halfway. Strat says a 10. Nothing happening. Darling will pitch. 4-3. Strikeout chance. 19 is high. Webster gets the swing. 5-3. Star 2. It's a ground ball to second base. Do they turn it? 2-0-3. Shortstop Santana has no adjustment. So a 1-3 they turn to. Yes, they do. Wallach will go to third. And Galarraga and Webster are out, 2 down. Big double play. Four-6-3 double play. And that will bring up the catcher, Sal Butera. He's the catcher for this game. Infield is now back. Wallach on at third. Darling will pitch. I'll check the strat. And that is a 4, nothing happening. Darling will pitch to Butera. And that is a 3-3 against a righty. That's a home run check. Butera against a righty's a 6. That's a 19. It is too high. Oh, but can Butera get a hit? That's a 1-4. Nope, it's a star 2, and he chops it to second, and Darling gets out of it. No runs and a hit, and the Expos strand 1. We go to the bottom of the second. Still 1-0 Mets. Phillies fans are watching this game. They know if the Mets win, with those 2 losses to Pittsburgh, Mets win, the Phillies are out. And the Mets are in there. A Mets loss, and we still got 2 big games to play tomorrow in the National League as well. Bottom of the second, here's right fielder Darryl Strawberry. He'll go up against Youmans. In this huge game at Shea Stadium, Mets control their own destiny. Win and they're in, but they'll have to play a wild card game with the Astros clinching the 4 spot. Mets win, they will host the wild card playoff game against the Reds. Youmans pitches 4-4, double question mark. Strawberry's a lefty, 1-14 automatic out. That's a 6. That's exactly what it is. It's a star 4 and a ground out to short. Out number 1. Coming in for left field for the Mets in this game was Danny Heap. He got the call in left field today. 1 out. Youmans with the pitch. That's a 6-5. Strikeout 14. Got him. He strikes out Heap. Strikeout number 1 for Youmans. He had 54 of them in 85. Here's third baseman Howard Johnson. Hojo is up. Youmans with the pitch. And that's a 4-6. Strikeout 12. Got him. Struck out Johnson. Strikeout number 2 for Youmans and a 1-2-3 inning for Youmans and the Expos. After 2, still 1-0 Mets. Top of the third. Leading off for the Expos is Floyd. Youmans does not have a pitcher hitting card himself, so he uses the Montreal pitching card, which is 132, combining all other pitchers that hit besides the ones that were carded in this season. Darling will pitch. 1-2, strikeout chance. Got him. Struck him out. That is strikeout number 2 strikeout number 3 for Darling. He had 167 of them in 85. 1 out. Here's the Rock, Tim Raines, Hall of Famer. Darling will pitch to Raines. That's a 2-1. Walk plus. That 15 is good. Raines will walk. So Darling strikes out a batter and then walks Raines. And Raines, a dangerous hitter, a dangerous runner to be on base. And here's Vance Law, infield halfway, checking a strat. That is a 15, nothing happening. Darling will pitch, so Darling keeps Raines from doing anything. So Darling will pitch to Law. Pitch from Darling, 2-2, strikeout, chance 11, got him, struck him out. 10 plus 2 is 12, that's an 11, he gets Law. Strikeout number 4 for Darling. And now the very dangerous Andre Dawson, the Hawk. Infield goes back. Strat roll says a 17, no strat. Darling will go ahead and pitch to Dawson. And that is a 6-1. That's a walk plus. And that 6 will do it. He walks Dawson. Another walk given up by Darling. He did have 113 of them in that year. Not much control. He struck out batters, but he also walked a lot of them. Runners at first and second. That's already the fourth walk issued by Darling. And the batter now is Brooks. 2 outs still. But runners now at first and second. They're going to go talk to Darling on the mound a little. See if he's all right. They'll check a strat. 18. Nothing happening. Darling will pitch to Brooks. And that's a 5-6 strikeout chance. Got him on a 2. Struck him out. Darling strikes out the side. So he goes strikeout, walk, strikeout, walk, strikeout. Inning over. 2 walks, but Darling strikes him out the side. But he had to do it, but he did it the hard way. And that's the end of the inning. Hopefully the talk did him good. We go to the bottom of the third. Leading off for the Mets will be Rafael Santana. Santana is the shortstop. Huge game between the Expos and the Mets. Mets win, they're in. Phillies are out. Mets lose, and because the Phillies lost, it makes 2 big games tomorrow. It is a possibility I could be playing 4 games on the board. We shall see. 1-0 Mets, bottom of the third. Youmans with the pitch. 1-2 against the righty. Automatic out. That's a star 3 and a ground ball to third. That will be picked up by my mom. That's out number 1. Here's the pitcher, Ron Darling. Darling batted 171 as a hitter. Youmans with the pitch, 5-4. Walk chance at 5. Yep, he walked him. Darling's a 6, -1 is a 5, and he got him. Darling gets a base on balls. Nice eye by Darling. Puts a runner on first. And it will bring up Mookie Wilson. Infield halfway. Youmans, I don't think there's anything going on, but I'll roll it anyway. And that is a 9, nothing happening. Darling does have a stolen base rating of 20. He had 1 stolen base. I'm figuring that was a failed hit and run, but it doesn't happen on that 9. But if that chance had came up, I would have sent him. Youmans will pitch to Wilson. That's a 1-1. Strikeout, 17 is high. Wilson does get to swing. 1-4. Ground ball to short. 3-0-4. Second base for Montreal is Law. +1 is a 5. A 1-5, they turn a double play. And they do easily. Side retired. (6-4-3) double play. And nothing across except a walk. After 3, still 1-0 Mets. How are the playoffs going to work? 1 and gone or 2, 3, 3, 4, 5 coming? The playoffs are going to work the same exact way my 1994 restart did. 1 wild card playoff game between the 5 at the 6 seed taking on the 5 seed at their park. The winner there takes on the number 4 seed in a best of 3 at the 4 seed's home park. Then the winner there takes on the number 1 in the division series, while the 3 will be at the 2 in their division series, best of 5, and then best of 7, best of 7. That's how I do it. It allows more playoff teams, but I actually think a 1-game playoff does make sense when you got 6 teams in the playoffs, not 5. Top of the 4th inning, 1-0. Tim Wallach leads off for the Expos. Wallach is 1 for 1. He had a single his first time up. Darling will pitch. And that is a 1-1 range play. Wallach gets the swing. 1-5. Pop out to first base. Hernandez is there. His range is a 5. and he's got it. Out number 1. He makes the catch in foul territory. Pop out to first. That's the first out. And the batter now will be Andres Galarraga. 1 out. Darling will pitch. That's a 4-2. Range play again, but this time at the park. Shea Stadium says 5-6, and that is a star 6. It's a fly ball to right. The ball is hit to Strawberry. It's a range play. His range is a 2. And he can't get it. Is it a single or a double? It's going to be a double for Galarraga. And the Expos get a man on second. Well hit ball by Galarraga goes between the gap of Strawberry and Wilson, and Galarraga goes to second. Next batter is Mitch Webster. 1 out still. Infield is still normal. Webster grounded out into a double play. Checking a strat. Strat says a 6. Nothing happening. Galarraga will stay at second. Darling will pitch. Darling, 6-1. Walk plus, and that is a walk. Webster will walk to first. Now runners at first and second for Sal Butera. Butera grounded out last time up. Now the infield will go halfway. Runners at first and second now. Checking strat. That is a 16. Butera's not going to bunt with 1 out. He will swing away. Darling will pitch. That's a 1-2. Strikeout chance. 15 is high. Butera gets to swing. 1-5. He pops out to second base. Out number 2. 2 men down. The infield goes back. And now the pitcher, Floyd Youmans. How about we do that? Floyd Youmans will bat. Runners at first and second. Still checking a strat. That's a 4. Galarraga, no, he's not going to try to steal third. He'll stay put. Galarraga will stay at second. Darling will pitch to Youmans. Pitch from Darling, 3-5. That's at the park. Shea Stadium says 2-5. It's a fly ball to right field. They'll get out of it. Youmans flies out to right, and the inning is over. Again, the Expos have base runners, but they're unable to bring them in. So no runs on 1 hit and a walk. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Mets holding on to a 1-0 lead. Leading off is Wally Backman. Backman will bat against Youmans here on the bottom of the 4th. Youmans with the pitch. 2-4. Walk chance. And that's a walk. Ball 4. Backman goes to first on a 1. Leadoff runner is on. And now Keith Hernandez. Backman on at first base. Definitely a stealing threat. Strat roll says an 11. No, nothing happening. Infield is halfway. Youmans will pitch. That's a 2-5. That's a blank. He's not tired. Hernandez will swing. 3-5. Ground ball to second base. 2-0. 3. Shortstop Brooks -1 is a 2. A 1-2. They turn the double play. Yes, they do. Second base to shortstop. Back to first. 2 outs. Hernandez grounds out into a twin killing. Two down. The batter now is Gary Carter. Youmans will pitch. And that's a 6-2. Hit by pitch. The 14 is way out of there. Carter gets the swing, 2-5, and he grounds it to second base. Throw goes to first, side retired. Nothing there for the Mets with a leadoff walk. Stays 1-0 after 4. And a timeout on the field as I need to get a drink. Be right back. Top of the 5th inning. With the Phillies losing both games in the doubleheader to the Pirates, the Mets win and they're in. Mets lose, the Phillies are still alive. Top of the 5th, leading off for the Expos will be Tim Raines. Raines walked his last time up. He's 0 for 1. Darling pitching pretty well. Pitch from Darling, 3-3, and against the lefty, that's a blank. Raines is a switch hitter. From a switch hitter left, that's a blank. Raines gets the swing, 3-6, base hit right past first base, and the Expos get a man on. Leadoff single for Raines. He will go to first, and the batter will be Vance Law. Infield goes halfway. Darling will pitch. We'll check a strat. And that is a 3. Raines got a very good chance to steal. 18 minus 2 is 16. Carter is 0. They're going to send him. On 1 to 16, Raines is at second base. And he's safe. Raines will steal second and go there. Stolen base for Raines. Now the Expos have a runner in scoring position. Re-rolling strat. That's a 14. This time, nothing happening. Darling will pitch to Law now with Raines on at second. And that's a 3-5. That's at the park. Shea Stadium says 5-2. A ground ball to third. The throw will go to first for out number 1. The only way Raines can get to third is on a 6. Nope, he holds it second. Out number 1. Raines holds at second base. Here's Andre Dawson. Runner on second. Infield is normal. Checking strat. That's a 14. Raines cannot get the jump. He stays at second base. Darling will pitch to Dawson. And that's a 2-6. That's a strikeout chance. Got him. Struck him out. Strikeout number 6 for Darling. 2 down. And now it's up to Hubie Brooks. Brooks is 0 for 2. Raines, a 6. This time he does have a chance to steal. 8 minus 1 is 7. Nope, he doesn't. 6 is too high. Nope, nothing happening. Raines that has to be, in order for Raines to steal with a 7, it needs to be a 3 in order for him to steal. So Darling stays at Raines at second base. Darling pitching to Brooks. And that's a 1-2. Strikeout chance 11. Too high. Brooks gets the swing. 2-3. Ground ball to first base. Hernandez has got it. Tags the bag. Inning over. No runs and a hit for Montreal and a stolen base. Darling is getting in jams, but he's getting out of them. But the Mets are not giving him any run support, except the 1 run. Halfway through the game, 1-0 Mets. Bottom of the fifth. Darryl Strawberry is the batter. Strawberry 0 for 1. Pitch from Youmans. 2-1. Home run with a question mark. Strawberry from the left side. A 1-4. That's an 18. It's too high. If that had cleared, that's automatic because Strawberry has homers from both left or right. Oh, but let's see what Strawberry does get. It's a 4-4, and that's a ball hit to left field against a 17 against a righty. That is hit high. That one is hit deep, and Strawberry still gets it. It is gone. Home run, Darryl Strawberry. A 4-4 is a question mark 7, which is a ball hit to left. Youmans is a righty, and with a 17, he just gets the homer. It is gone. Stadium cheers. Yay! The straw comes through in a clutch hit. And the Mets now take a 2-0 lead. And the batter is Danny Heap. Heap is 0 for 1. Big homer by the straw. 2-0 Mets. Youmans will pitch to Heap. That's a 2-3. Against the lefty, it's a blank. Heap will swing. 3-1. He flies out to left. Out number 1. Here's Howard Johnson. Johnson is 0 for 1. Youmans will pitch. And that's a 1-1 strikeout chance. 18 is good. He strikes out Johnson. That is strikeout number 3 for Youmans. 2 down. And now here's Rafael Santana. Santana 0 for 1. Youmans with the pitch. 5-6. Possible error. Santana gets the swing. 4-2. Ground ball to short. The ball is hit to Brooks. His error rating is a 10. That's a 6. He bobbles it. Drops the ball. Throws to first. Not in time. That's going to be an error on Brooks. An E6. First error on the Expos. It allows Santana to reach it on a grounder, and Brooks can't make the play. That is an error. And the batter is Ron Darling. Darling still has some gas in the tank. Oh my God, here. Baseball Demos joins us here at Shea Stadium for a very important game with the Mets. Darling has gotten to a lot of trouble. It's only the 6th inning. 5th inning. I'm going to let him swing anyway. 2 outs. Oh, National League Baseball. Santana on it first. Darling will swing. Checking a strat. Nothing happening there. Youmans will pitch. That's a 1-3 strikeout chance, and he will get him there. Struck him out, and the inning ends. 1 run on 1 hit, a solo shot by the straw, and the Mets lead it 2-0 after 5. Oh, Canada. Yeah, they play the Canadian national anthem in the 5-1-8. Absolutely. I'm not prejudiced or discriminated against. A man or woman, black or white, Canadian American. I don't care what country from where. I don't discriminate. Top of the 6th inning. Ron Darling will pitch for the Mets. Here's a game reset for Baseball Demos. The Philadelphia Phillies lost both games in the doubleheader to the Pirates. If the Mets win, they're in the playoffs and the Phillies are out. If the Mets lose, the Phillies are still 1 game back with 1 day left to play tomorrow. Possibly I could be playing 4 games tomorrow. Possibly. Mets lead here 2-0, top of the sixth. The Mets control their own destiny right now. Tim Wallach is the leadoff batter. If the Mets win, they will host the wild card playoff game against the Reds. Phillies lost twice. Anyone say rigged? Oh, come on. Everyone saw me roll the dice. They saw it because the 10-minute ticker was before I played this game. So, on you. Tim Wallach will lead off against Darling. Darling's pitch, 4-2. Range play at the park. Shea Stadium says 4-2. That's a fly ball to center field. The ball is hit to Wilson. His range is a 4. And he makes the catch. Out number 1. Nice play by Wilson to get Wallach. First out, here's Andres Galarraga. Galarraga is 1 for 1. He doubled his last time up. Darling will pitch. That's a 6-1 walk plus, and that is a walk. He walks Galarraga and puts another man on base. And that is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is the 6th walk given up by Darling. He does have 6 strikeouts, though. That's a big walk, and now the batter is Mitch Webster. Webster is 0 for 1. Infield goes halfway. Oh, thanks a lot, Keith. A lot of help from you. Checking a strat, and that is an 8. Nothing happening. Darling will pitch. 4-2. Again a range play at the park. Shea Stadium says 6-5, and that is a ball hit to right field, a possible single. The ball is hit to right, though. It's a range play. Strawberry there. His range is a 2. And he can't get it. It's going to be a base hit to right. Galarraga's base running rating is a 4. On a single to right, it's automatic 6. Strawberry has a -1 arm for a 5. So a 1 to 5, Galarraga's a 3rd. A 6, a 6, someone's out. It's a 6. Galarraga does get to 3rd base, but Webster tries to steal 2nd. The ball is caught off, throws to 2nd. Webster is out. Holy cow. A base hit by Webster. On a 6-1, the lead runner advances, but the ball is caught off, and Webster is thrown out at 2nd, 2 outs. So Webster is out at 2nd base, and that could be a huge out. And here's Sal Butera. Oh, thanks a lot, guys. You're a real help. 2 outs now. The infield is back. Galarraga now on 3rd. But now 2 outs, and Butera is the batter. Floyd Youmans still has some left in his tank. But I think if Butera gets on base, the Expos will pinch hit for Youmans and go to the bullpen. Runner on at 3rd. There's still a strat. That's a 19. Nothing happening. No bunt. Darling will pitch. That's a 5-2. Error on a grounder. Butera will swing 2-2, and that's a star 6. It's a fly ball to right field. Inning over. A fly out to right. No runs, 1 hit. But with Mitch Webster thrown out at 2nd base, that was big. Still 2-0 Mets. And by the way, Keith, you're wrong because I rolled for the Pirates first, then I rolled for the Phillies. So you kind of got that reversed there. Bottom of the 6th inning. Leading off for the Mets will be Mookie Wilson. Youmans will stay out there to pitch. This will be his last inning. He's due to bat first in the 7th. No, because there were 2 outs, Keith. Remember, Mitch Webster was thrown out at second base. He was the second out. He was the second out, Keith, because Webster was thrown out at second by Strawberry. Youmans will pitch to Wilson. 4-3. Against the lefty switch, it's a blank. Wilson will swing. 6-5. Ground ball to third. Out number 1. That's the first out, and the batter will be Wally Backman. Had Webster not been out, it would have been a sacrifice fly attempt. Yes, he would have had a chance at a sacrifice fly. Backman will bat. 4-2. Strikeout chance. 2. Got him. Youmans continues to pitch well. And that is strikeout number 5 for Youmans. Out number 2. And now Keith Hernandez. Hernandez is 0 for 2, but he does have a sacrifice fly. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. Pitch from Youmans, 3-6. Automatic out. Star 3, a ground out to third, and that will do it. A 1-2-3 inning for Youmans after 6. 2-0 Mets. Top of the 7th. We'll see a pinch hitter for Youmans as he is done. The Expos will go to the bench. We'll see who they're going to bring on. They have to bring on the player with the most at bats. As I play it that way early, it will be Herm Winningham. Winningham will lead off 312 at bats. Herm Winningham will bat against Ron Darling. That is a left switch right for Darling. Let's see if the Mets want to have him pitch to Winningham, and they will. Darling has 2 at bats to face 2 batters before being tired. Darling will pitch to Winningham. And that is a 6-6. It's a blank. Winningham gets the swing. 6-5. Base hit right center field. Winningham gets a leadoff single. Single for Winningham. The batter now is Tim Raines. And they're going to take Ron Darling out. Ron Darling is not going to pitch to Raines. So we will see a pinch hitter for a new pitcher for the Mets. Coming on to pitch in here right now. They're going to bring out Jesse Orozco early. Jesse Orozco will come out to pitch to Tim Raines. A 2-0 lead, Winningham on at first. Infield halfway. Raines is one for 2. Orozco will pitch. I'm sorry, first strat roll first. Maybe there's something going on. That is a 17, nothing happening. Raines is not doing anything. Orozco will pitch. 5-5. Strikeout chance. 1. Got him. Struck out Raines. Big K by Orozco. Out number 1. The batter now is Vance Law. Law is 0 for 2 with a walk. Checking a strat. That's a 17 again. Nothing happening. Law's not going to bunt. Orozco will pitch. That's a 1-2 against a righty. It's a blank. Law gets to swing. 6-6, a ground ball to short. Does he turn it? 3. -1 is a 2. Halfway is 3. Second base, Backman, no adjustment. 1-3, they turn it. No, they do not. Winningham is thrown out at second, and Law is safe at first on the fielder's choice. 2 outs, though. And now the very dangerous Andre Dawson. Dawson has struck out twice and walked. Infield is now normal. Checking the strat, 11, nothing happening. Orozco will pitch to Dawson. That's a 6-1, strikeout chance, 1. Got him, struck out Dawson. Inning over. No runs, a hit. We're at the 7th inning stretch. Mets lead it 2-0. Did I email? No, I didn't, because I realized what it is. It's a strikeout is what it is. Tony Phillips struck out a lot against right-handed batters. When I looked at it, I said, what he did, his mistake, it should have read G6/K. That's what it should have read. He's got a G/K6. The mistake is it should have been G6/K. I know what that meant. After I looked at it, I said, you know what? He means a strikeout. So that's why that's the K6. He just kind of made an error in the cell, but he didn't make an error on the result. We go to the bottom half of the 7th. The Mets have right, left coming up. Gary Carter will lead off for the Mets. In the bottom of the 7th, the Astros will bring in a lefty to pitch. See, they want to bring in here. If I have a decent left-hander to pitch, yeah. They'll bring in Gary Lucas, 6 wins, 2 losses, a save, a 3.19 ERA. Gary Lucas will pitch to Gary Carter. Bottom of the 7th, 2-0. Mets win, they're in, and will host the National League Wild Card Playoff. Lucas will pitch. That's a 3-1. That's a blank. Carter swings. 1-6. Base hit, pass short. It's a leadoff single for the Mets. Carter goes to first. And the batter now is the straw. Shea Stadium gives him a great hand. He hit a home run his last time up. So Carter on it first. Here's the straw. Infield is half. They are rolling a strat. And nothing happening. Lucas will pitch to Strawberry. That's a 6-4. Strikeout chance. 15. And yes, he struck him out. 13 plus 2 is 15. That is a 15 against the lefty. He strikes out Strawberry. Out number 1. Here's Danny Heap. He's next. Heap is 0 for 2. Strikeout and a flyout. Checking the strat. That's a 2. I don't think you're gonna hit and run with Carter with a stolen base rating of a 10. I think he's a dead duck at second if he does. Although he does have a stolen base rating, but I think you let Heap hit away with a 280 average. No hit and run. It'll be a normal play. Lucas will pitch. 2-4. That's a blank. Heap gets the swing. 2-6. Base hit. Past second base. It's a single for Heap. Carter's base running rating is a 1. Needs to be a 3 in order to get the third. He will hold at second. A base hit for Heap. So now runners at first and second. Infield still half. Here's Hojo. Hojo will take a swing against Lucas. Infield halfway. Mets have a chance to get some runs. Hojo, however, struck out twice. Strat roll says a 10, nothing happening. Lucas will pitch. That's a 6-1. Walk chance, 5 against the lefty. Yes, he walks Johnson. He walks Johnson, and the bases are loaded. Bases are loaded, and Rafael Santana is due to bat, and he will hit. It's only the 7th inning. He has to hit. I don't make position changes for pinch hitters until the 8th inning. So Rafael Santana, and Santana was a better hitter in 85 than he was with the 86 championship team. Bases loaded. They're going to call the infield. Gary Carter's base running rating is a 1. If it's an infield in, it's an automatic chance at a double play. The Expos are going to call the infield in. So bases loaded, infield in, Rafael Santana the batter. A big chance for the Mets with 2 outs. The only double play chance you have is home to first, if it's a grounder. Carter, of course, has to try to score. Lucas, I will check a strat, and that's a 14, nothing happening. Lucas will pitch. That's a 2-5. It's a blank. Can Santana get a big hit? 3-5. It's a fly ball to right field. It's a fly out to right. Now that is out number 2. Sacrifice fly rating for Santana is a 1. It's a 6. He doesn't get that. Carter's base running rating is a 1. The ball is hit to right field. That is Dawson. His arm is a -1. It's a 0. There is no chance Carter can score. He automatically holds. 2 outs. They can't get the sacrifice. Wow. If you're going to hit a fly ball, you hit it to the wrong guy. Carter has to hold. Now the infield is normal. Orozco's due to bat. They will bring in a pinch hitter for Orozco as he is coming out. The Mets do have to bring on a pinch hitter most at bats, and they're going to go with George Foster. Foster will pinch hit against Lucas. Bases loaded now, 2 outs. Michael Peterson joins us here at Shea Stadium. A Mets win and they're in. A loss and the Phillies are still alive, and the Phillies will still be in there with a chance. Bases loaded. Lucas will pitch to Foster. Checking a strat. That's a 7, nothing happening. Lucas will pitch. That's a 3-5. It's a blank. Foster gets the swing. 2-3. Fly ball center field. Inning over. The Mets get bases loaded and cannot get anyone in. No runs on 2 hits. After 7, still 2-0 Mets. We go to the top of the 8th inning with the Phillies losing both games both games to Pittsburgh. The Mets win and they're in. Hubie Brooks leads off for the Expos. It's right. The Mets are going to go with Roger McDowell. Roger McDowell will come on to pitch. 6-5, 17 saves. They're going to see if McDowell can go to finish it off. If not, they still have some pitchers waiting to go. Roger McDowell will pitch to Hubie Brooks, top of the 8th inning. Salvador America joins us here at Shea Stadium. I know he's happy because his Red Sox are in the playoffs. Oh, yeah, I ordered that as soon as it was released. Top of the 8th. McDowell will pitch. That's a 6-2. Strikeout chance, 11. Too high. Brooks gets the swing. 6-1. Fly out to right. Out number 1. Here's Tim Wallach. Wallach is 1 for 3. He singled in the 2nd inning. McDowell will pitch. That's a 6-1. It's a blank. Wallach gets the swing. 3-1. Popped up to second base. Backman makes the catch. Out number 2. 2 outs. And the batter is Andres Galarraga, and we will see a pinch hitter for him. Galarraga, although he is 1 for 1 with 2 walks, the 187 average is kind of meh. So I think they would bring in a batter, as the Expos still want to try to spoil things for the Mets. Galarraga will come out, and coming on to pinch hit will be Terry Francona. He'll also take over at first base. He does have 281 at-bats. He is the guy. So Francona will take over at first base automatically. And he will pinch hit against McDowell. 2 outs. Top of the 8th inning. McDowell will pitch. And that's a 5-4. And against the lefty, it's a blank. Francona gets the swing. 3-6. Ground ball to third. Throw goes to first. Out number 3. Side retired. A 1-2-3 inning for McDowell. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Still 2-0 Mets. The Expos historically won this game 8-3, but the Mets are doing everything they can to try to change it. Mookie Wilson leads off for the Mets in the bottom of the 8th. Lucas is, of course, coming out. And they're going to go with, let's see, switch left. And Wilson. Switch left. They're going to go with a lefty. Expos will bring on a left-hander. And it will be Dan Schatzeder. At least I think that's what I want to bring in. What are we, in the 8th inning, right? Maybe they bring in their closer. Hold on a moment. May not want to go with him. The Expos might want to bring in the closer. That could be Jeff Reardon. Yeah. Schatzeder is not going to come in. They're going to go with Reardon. 2 wins, 8 losses, 41 saves. It's not a save situation. Reardon's job is simple. Keep it 2-0 for the top of the 9th. Jeff Reardon against Mookie Wilson, bottom of the 8th. Yes, that is the former Red Sox manager, Terry Francona. It's exactly what it was. Reardon will pitch. Mets looking for insurance, 2-2. Hit by pitch, 20 is way too high. Wilson will swing, 1-6. Line out to third, out number 1. Wilson lines out. And now here's Wally Backman. Reardon will pitch to Backman. 1 out here, bottom of the 8th. Reardon, 4-2, strikeout chance, 12 is too high. Backman misses it. He swings, 4-1, and he grounds it to third base. Out number 2. Nice play by Wallach. 2 outs. And now Keith Hernandez. Hernandez is 0 for 3. Reardon trying to keep this a 2-0 game. Reardon's pitch. 1-4, strikeout. 6, Got him. He struck out Hernandez. Struck him out. Side retired. Reardon does what he has to do. At the end of 8, 2-0 Mets. Will we see some ninth inning magic? For the first time in a while, I'm hoping it's a 1, 2, 3 inning. Roger McDowell will stay out there. Leading off for the Expos is Mitch Webster in the top of the 9th. He will hit at 272. The good news is McDowell does face the bottom of the order. The bad news is if he doesn't get through it, you got Raines, Law, and Dawson waiting. 2-0, top of the 9th. Mets are 3 outs away from the playoffs. McDowell's pitch. 2-2, walk chance, 16. That's too high. Webster gets the swing. 4-3, popped up in the infield. That's a pop-up to the pitcher. McDowell makes the catch. Out number 1. 2 outs away from the playoffs. The next batter is Sal Butera. He will come out with a 200 average. He will come out. Expos will go to the bench. And it can be anybody they want as long as it's not a fringe player that I have available. And they will bring out, it will be UL Washington. Butera's the catcher. Michael Berry will come out and ready to go to catcher in case this goes any extras. UL Washington will bat against McDowell. 1 out. 2 outs away from the playoffs. Roger McDowell will pitch. That's a 4-1 range play. Washington swings 6-5 against a righty. It's a single to second base, but it's a range play. Backman's there. His range is a 3. He's got it. Backman's got it. Throws to first, out number 2. 1 out away from the playoffs. What a play by Backman. And now a pinch hitter coming up for Jeff Reardon. And coming on to pinch hit will be Scott Thompson, a late trade from the Giants. Remember, the Expos, this game is meaningless to them. They're going to play the division series no matter what. The 3rd seed has been decided, I believe. The 3rd seed has been decided. The Expos will have to play the Cardinals in the National League, in one of the National League division series. Roger McDowell will pitch to Thompson. 2 outs now. 1 out from the playoffs. Mets lead 2-0. Shea Stadium on their feet. McDowell will try to pitch. Here it comes. 1-5. Strikeout chance. That's a 1. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Mets are in the playoffs. They clinch a playoff spot. Ball game. Mets are in. Three up and 3 down for Montreal. The Mets are in the playoffs. And they will host the National League Wild Card Playoff against the Reds in a 1-gamer there. They will host it. Mets win. Mets win. And we have a happy recap here at Shea Stadium, and the Phillies are eliminated. They are out. Mets are in the playoffs. Final line score coming up. Don't go away. Even though 10-minute ticker was done this morning, we still have to choose tomorrow's games. For the Mets, 2 runs on 4 hits and no errors. For the Expos, no runs, 5 hits and 1 error. Ron Darling does get the win. Floyd Youmans the loss, and Roger McDowell does pick up the save. No, I'm not going to pile on the field. Not this one. This is not a division championship or anything like that. I'm not going to pile on the field. They're very happy they got in, that they know if they had won a division title, they wouldn't have to play a wild card series. So no, I'm not going to pile on the field. They're happy. They know they're in, but they got a big game to play coming up. So no pile on the field, not here. The Mets are going to be businesslike. They're happy they're in. They know they should have gotten in a lot easier than this, but they'll take it. Mets are in the playoffs. 2-0 Mets. Now let's prepare to see what games we're going to play tomorrow. Now let's take a look and make sure we got everything set for playoff positioning. Let's be sure first. The Dodgers are number 1 in the National League. The Expos are 2. Cardinals with 91 wins. Even if the Astros were to win the cart and make it 91 and 91, the Astros have a worse record on the board than the Cardinals do. So I'm using the board standings to decide seeding, because playing on the board has got to mean something, and this is where it comes down to. So the Cardinals, the worst they can do is 91 and 71. The best the Astros can do is 91-71. Houston was 5-4. The Cardinals were 7-3. Cardinals automatically clinched the 3rd spot with a better board record than the Astros do. So the Astros are automatically number 4. The Mets, the best they can do is 90 wins. And let me see, the Mets are 5-5. The Astros are 5-4. Oh, wait a minute, that may not be clear yet. Hold the phone, Central. The Astros have a record. Houston is 5-4. The Mets are 5-5. I don't think I would play the Mets tomorrow, although that would mean seeding. No, I'm going to let it go. So a 5-5 record, I'm not going to play the Astros. They will clinch the 4. I will leave it alone. The Mets will host the wild card. The Reds are 87-73. The best they can do is 88-73. They cannot catch the Mets. So the Reds are in the number 6 seed. So they will have to take on the Mets in the National League wild card game in the 1-game playoff. So the Mets host the wild card playoff game. The winner there will take on the Astros at the Astrodome for the best of 3 there. So pretty much National League seeding is completed. We do not have to do a National League game tomorrow. It doesn't matter. I will not change the seedings. Now we go to the American League. Only one playoff spot is available, and that is third place American League West. California is 81-80. The Royals, with their win today, are 80-81. The seedings in the American League are set. The Yankees are number 1. They have home field throughout. The Minnesota Twins are number 2. The Minnesota Twins are number 2. They will host the Toronto Blue Jays in their American League Division Series. The Boston Red Sox are the 4 seed. They will host the American League Wild Card Series against either Seattle or California or Kansas City. So this is what we're going to do. If California wins, no matter what Kansas City does, they're out. So in the morning, we will play California at Texas. We will play the Angels and the Rangers. It'll be Mike Witt versus Jeff Russell. We'll play California at Texas in the morning. If California wins, they go to 82-80 and they are in it. Kansas City is out. If California loses, then that night we will play Kansas City versus Oakland. And if Kansas City wins that game, we have a tiebreaker game set for Sunday between California and Kansas City. California is 5-3 on the board. Kansas City is also 5-3 on the board. That could decide who hosts it. So that is what we're going to do tomorrow morning. California at Texas will be the morning game. If California wins, it's over. They're in, and I will go ahead and do the rest of the season. There will be no game at night. If California loses, we'll play Oakland and Kansas City at night to see if a tiebreaker game is necessary. I do not care for all the rest of the seeding is over. No matter what it is, it's what it is on FastScore. We will play on the board the games that matter. A playoff spot is still on the line. We will play those games. So California at Texas in the morning, Oakland at Kansas City in the evening if necessary. So that is what we'll have tomorrow. Brandon Baker, Salvador America, Steeler fan, Michael Peterson, Keith White, Baseball Demos, Tim Pepper, G. Puck. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Please leave a like on your way out through the turnstiles. It would be most appreciated. Subscribe if you've not done so. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart, stay strong. The Mets shut out the Expos 2-0. They are in the postseason. We'll see you guys tomorrow for the final day of the 1985 season replay. See you guys later. Take care.